Play the bells, Manny. I know you got them ready. Play the 10 bell salute.
I have that ready.
You don't have that queued up. Damn it. All right. Play taps. Here we go. What the fuck? Hi, everybody. This show is started with what the fuck. Manny.
Let's just get right into it. I'm Lord Manny Hayes. He's Marcus the Grand Finale.
We need to jump right into this.
What the hell was that last night?
What was that? My description of AEW, if I was watching anybody, did wrestling just have a stroke in the middle of the week? What was that? What the hell was that?
It was utter nonsense.
And you know what? I bet you people are thinking we're just talking about the footage. I'm not just talking about the footage. I'm talking about the entire show. The whole thing. It was like, so I went to a restaurant, I was expecting to get a hamburger, someone shit in my hand. That's exactly what happened. I was like, what? How the fuck is this even a thing?
Marcus, what the hell is that? That's a terrible analogy.
I don't know.
So was your hand out like this, and then someone standing on the counter?
It's best not picturing what it's like, Manny. It's best not picturing what it's like.
So, I refuse to take notes on this.
Yes. And I was going to renote. I would have to go back and renote or look up notes or whatnot. But no, you're going to get my instant reaction to every single thing I saw on this night because I am doing the notes this week. And Manny was like, oh no, I'm not doing notes for this. It's your turn. And I was glad to do the notes for this week because I don't know when I'm going to shut the fuck up because I can talk about this as long as I talk about the positives of WrestleMania this week. I can talk about how shitty this 2 hours have made me question why the fuck am I watching wrestling anymore? Wrestling ended with Cody Rhodes winning that title and the Tribal Chief losing his belt. That was the end of pro wrestling because after that, I have been just completely just wondering why? Why?
Well,
why am I putting myself through this?
It's much like how the current state of Marvel is. Once Endgame happened, which is what happened on Sunday at WrestleMania, nothing else seemed to matter. No of those Marvel movies seemed to be good. And AEW Dynamite decided, let's follow suit.
Yeah. No, so I would give it the equivalent of Marvel has just released Avengers Endgame. Everybody's happy. You know, the snap and everything. You know, everybody's back. Everybody's back. It's a good feeling. Oh, my God, that was amazing. And then DC released The Flash. And then I think superheroes died. That's kind of what happened.
It is.
It's like that was the end of superhero movies. No more fun for you guys. Because we're going to expose the business. So, you know, Jimmy, our diamond subscriber, Manny, if you do get time, X-Men 97. Fucking good. It's so good. It's so good. I know, Jimmy, I watched it last night. It's so good. It's the only good thing Marvel has ever did.
Shout out to Carissa. I think that's Maurice's niece. AEW was so bad last night. Yeah, this is why we're angry. This is why we're ranting. This is why we're ranting.
It was so horrible, and I'm about to start it off with a bang. Here we go. The show begins with piece of shit Justin Roberts in the ring, who's about to announce the following contest has a 20-minute time limit. And I look him in the eye. And I looked him in the eye, Manny, and I'll tell you when I was starting the show, I looked him in the eye, and I felt like some bullshittery was happening tonight. I just felt like we were getting bullshit. Because the show never starts with just, let's start with a zoom in on Justin Roberts. Anyway, he comes out, he introduces
Wait. I do have something on this. So, Dave, what's his name? Dave Hebner? Earl Hebner's son, but whatever his name is, decided to say, I put my TV on mute because Samantha Irvin is doing too much. If anyone does too much, it's that guy, Justin Roberts, with his
Yeah. He does that so much, I imitate it when I do Three Faces of Jamal's intro. Hell, only time I say Jon Moxley is like that. And if anybody's doing too much, it's Justin Roberts, Aubrey Edwards, any other referee, his ass for stealing or doing too much to get fired from WWE in the first place. So shut that fucking.
Or was it his dad?
It was both of them. They were both stealing and selling.
Idiots.
Fucking idiots. Idiots.
Back.
How do you take aim? Yeah, I know. How do you take aim at people who are doing great at their job? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, Samoa Joe gets attacked by Swerve and gets driven through a table. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. It was fine. Whatever. Nice start to a show. I wasn't expecting this at all, but it was beat down on sight. Samoa Joe had it coming anyway because he left that man bloodied and threw him through a table at the end of Dynamite. Thank you. Show me the video of why he's so angry. Oh, no, they don't. Pause. I have to see Trent Beretta's turn and whisper gently in Kid Statlander's ear and then get no follow-up throughout the night about these fucking best friends who you just updated me on. Talk about you have to pivot. No. I pass. Anyway, they find a new solution. Here comes I lose every week motherfucking Penta coming up doing the same old stick he always does. And then here comes Mr. I'm sorry for my language, but it's going to be graphic this week. It's going to be graphic. Here's I just sucked Tony Khan's dick, took a full load in his mouth. And now I'm here to spit it out. Adam Copeland, who, that is graphic, who comes out to the ring. And him and Penta proceeds to have a pretty good match. I'm not going to take anything away from the match. It was a solid match. The only problem is, that Penta isn't going to win. He wasn't going to win. So we're able to breathe at this point, Manny. They have their match for the TNT title, which I don't know what that means to anybody anywhere in the world. The match ends and the lights go out. And there's Julia Hart. Camera work misses the shot, as in they're only supposed to show Julia Hart and not Brody King behind Edge, because the way Excalibur reacted is that, Brody King's surprised, like the Undertaker just magically appeared behind him. Because we saw him the whole time. Mr. Cameraman, you're supposed to be off to the right and be like, oh my gosh, Julia Hart, what does this mean? Here comes attack. But then you realize she's only there to attack because Malachi and Buddy were probably hanging out with their girlfriends after WrestleMania.
Why?
And we could only send vignettes. Why? I forget if they're married or not. Well, Buddy's not married to Rhea yet.
He's engaged.
Yeah.
Close enough. You're right. Anyway, they didn't make the show because, similar to what CM Punk said, some people just like to film vignettes and show up once every 4 weeks. Shout out to Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews. Anyway, they begin to attack. But lo and behold, some happy music plays, and Willow shows up and makes a running diamond saves and fights off Brody King and Julia Hart. Well, Edge throws a clothesline to Brody. But Edge, who's exhausted from the match and was sold to me by Excalibur, this man's taking an ass whooping tonight. He's been getting beat up from pillar to post. He can't even breathe. That's a 60-year-old man dying in that ring before your head. Was able to get the best. Brody and Julia both paused their attack like, oh shit. they're here. Willow Nightingale's here. Anyway, we go to commercial. We cut to the back. I don't remember. We go to an interview, I believe, of Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe, who switched titles over the weekend at Supercard of Honor. Barely any update on that, but apparently they're the best of friends now. And they're going to team with Edge at Dynasty in a 6-person tag match against the House of Blick. I don't understand why that team was huffing and puffing his way through that. Are you guys okay? I just need to make sure you guys are okay.
Can I tell you, Edge was extremely passive aggressive at this moment, Manny. He was extremely passive aggressive because why am I being saved by Willow Nightingale when I'm getting attacked? Brody King could have killed me. Brody King's a monster. He's a legit monster. He could have eaten Willow and threw her to the stands. Her bones could have been stretched out to the post. I could have been eaten alive by a man barking at me. But yet you two guys are just posting up here for this interview. You guys make me sick. That's what I feel like Edge was doing as he come up huffing and puffing. Anyway, Willow and Snooki slowly accompanies Edge. And Willow is like, you know what, guys? I'm an independent woman, and I can announce matches here. And then Edge goes, nuh-uh, woman. This is a man talking. I'm going to announce a mixed tag match between me and Willow against Julia and Brody. And I go, whatever. I didn't hate it. I was just like, why did you cut Willow off? And that didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Who was in charge of this?
Carissa's comments for when we get to that video. But Jimmy said Stokely was enjoyable. I give him that. Stokely's always enjoyable when he's on screen. When he's on screen, he's always the best person on screen.
Yeah, I forget the exact line he said, but he's told Eddie Kingston, you smelled like Burger King and Newports. And I felt like I didn't know you well then, and I probably shouldn't have said it then. Something along those lines. But it was the delivery and how he said it was hilarious. And then the fact that he said, Edge, next week, forget that. I'm announcing you and Willow in a TNT title match. Which, you know what? I think they would go 50-50 on that one, too. Edge can push us to the limit. Manny, do you have anything to say as we get into the meat and bones of this show?
No, I just know it started off well. It did start off well, and I think this is the point where it suddenly started to take a small. After this bit, it started to take a small decline, and then a nosedive is about to happen. But let's carry on.
Yes. So we continue the show, and by the way, there are no notes written. Again, this is all off the top of my head, and you can see it's burned in my face. Anyway, we go to Matt and Nick Jackson, who we had a countdown for. Oh yeah, this part bugged me just a little bit. They had this countdown for when Matt and Nick Jackson come. Excalibur had to say, well, that countdown may not be legit because Edge and Penta have a 30-minute time limit. So if they go past that, then that countdown is ruined. Which I go, what? Why even put the countdown up? Just tell me it's next. Just tell me it's next.
No, this was all in retaliation to Cody when it was countdown to Cody.
Oh my God, it's so petty. It's so right.
Which I don't think Cody has done for over a year.
No. But Manny, considering All In was 8 months ago, I on this show champion my pettiness, and you also champion your pettiness, Manny, as well. I don't think we're at this level. Yeah, I don't think you're at this level. I don't think we're at this level. This is self-detrimental petty. This is like when you see someone on drugs and you realize they're hurting themselves, and there needs to be an intervention. That's how petty they are. There needs to be an intervention. Anyway, we cut to the Bucks, who are at Abbott Elementary. In the video, in the AV club, or I don't know where they were at, and they have a laptop there, just sitting there, as if they got exclusive footage. And at the time of the moment, I go, here we go. And you know what? To their benefit, to every single person's benefit, they tried to weave and show us a reason why they're showing this footage. Although it now negates every backstage attack ever, because they now are going to show us CM Punk and Jungle Boy, the scapegoat, Jack Perry, because they were so distracted by all the happenings of backstage, a backstage brawl, which happens every single week on every single wrestling show, that they had to do their EVP duties, and they weren't able to pray or get hydrated or do whatever else. I actually enjoyed that response. I was like, you know what? Okay. As boss, but it's still no reason to show the footage. I'm sure they got concrete evidence of why they're going to show us this footage. And so we get to this grainy ass footage of CCC TV, which I still don't understand to this day. Why? Why do we not have quality cameras in CCTV footage? Oh, But who cares? There's Jungle Boy. There's all 3 X's on CM Punk's back. I remember his haircut. He looked well from the back of his head. And so he confronts Jungle Boy, and they're talking. Joe's in the corner, lubing up or whatever he does in the corner. You see various faces and recognizable people. They're talking. Things are going back and forth. So CM Punk, like Han Solo, pop, either punches or pushes Jack Perry first.
It looked like a push, but this is at the same time Jack Perry was playing with his hair, and then like it looked like a push. It didn't feel like he went like that. It looked like a shot.
It looks like a single. Yeah, it did. But I'm going to say push or shove or punch or shove because you can go either way. But I doubt it. So he pushes him, and then, like CM Punk described to Ariel Helwani, he gave him a little joke. Now, when he said that, I laughed because I, listening to that interview, saying you're sugarcoating, choking a man out. But when you see the footage, shit, that was a little joke.
It was like when Homer chokes Bart Simpson enough that he isn't going to die.
Yeah. Although we're not supporting that child abuse, but fuck it. It's cartoons. Anyway, he do it. Samoa Joe, like, who's the rapper who was in the back that's described it? Was it Westside Gunn?
Yeah, I think so.
Westside Gunn, who says the big Samoa dude comes over and separates him. Which happens. Samoa Joe comes over. He's like, enough. CM Punk looks over to the right. I'm assuming at Tony Khan, and as he says, you're a fucking clown, it's a joke of the company, and I quit. Fuck you. And then marches out to the ring. You see Chris Hero. Oh my God. You see Malachi Black sipping his coffee, minding his own damn business. You see Aubrey Edwards and other referees like doing what they normally do when people get attacked. Like this is real
Literally
life. But yeah, this is real life, but the referees still are playing full characters. I'm not going to do anything.
Hook's back there watching it happen.
Yeah. And that was the end of it. The video was what, 10, 15 seconds, maybe?
No,
not that long.
Minute long. It's about a minute long because they included the bit with Punk and him just talking. But of course, there was no sound because most CCTV tends not to have sound. So that's why CCTV is never really a good measure of anything. It's just
you can't say. Yeah. For all I know, Jungle Boy called CM Punk the N-word, and that's what set him off. For all I know. Or vice versa, CM Punk is just a crazy son of a bitch. And Jack Perry said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Phil Brooks. I didn't mean to say
Marcus,
real
if you go by the post that's going on in the mid-card mess, we won't name him, but unhinged is the word we're going with.
Oh, yes. He could have been unhinged. But I would say if you're unhinged, you're not able to have a match with Samoa Joe right then and there. Just saying. The man seemed to get his shit together. This fight was no different than any fight I've seen on a basketball court. I'm talking about NBA level where people have a kerfuffle. This was less than what Draymond Green did to Rudy Gobert. It was nothing really at the end of the day. And we show all of this. We cut to the Bucks. Cut back to the Bucks, and they're like, "Oh man, humanity," or something like that, or whatever. And then we go to FTR. But anyway, back to this footage. Manny, what did you learn from any of this so far?
Well, it kind of proved Punk right, but like in both scenarios, Punk is in the wrong for what he did. Like given that he had 2 contracts where he was kind of in a position of power at that point, he should have not been doing that.
Yeah.
But the second thing is, as he already stated in the Ariel Helwani interview, this could have all been avoided if Tony Khan stepped in and actually did his job as a boss and told him no.
Yes. He could have told Jungle Boy no. He could have just a lot. It's just a lot. He could have nipped all this beef, this quote unquote beef they had in the bud right away from Collision. He already knew about it. I mean, according to CM Punk And, who knows if he's truthful or not. But according to Tony Schiavone's face before they went to the video and back to the video, CM Punk is 100% accurate because fuck Jack Perry. Yeah, this face right here. This man was watching have WCW PTSD all over again. That man was squingy. Vince Russo is out there with a baseball bat talking about, you'll never see that piece of garbage ever again. That's how he felt. So, nothing was accomplished from this. In fact, the only thing that was accomplished was the arena, as the video is being played, as you look online, see various points, it's chanting for CM Punk. An audience in AEW who was divided at one point. Divided. On the notion of CM Punk, good, evil, shouldn't have fired him, maybe shouldn't have. All united, it was like, well, fuck yeah. He beat up Jack Perry.
Well, you know what? The only person that's going to benefit from this scenario is Drew McIntyre. The only person benefiting from this is because Drew can talk about this because he's a heel, and Drew's going to bring it up. We had Sean Spears tweet the response of throwing a ball against the wall and hitting it against your face. No. I didn't actually see Drew's tweet, so if you let me know, Carissa, what was said.
Yeah, I didn't see Drew's. I got CM Punk's mission accomplished.
Yeah, I saw earlier in the day the Grayson Waller one of me and Austin Theory are going to release some footage backstage of me beating up all the SmackDown roster or whatever, and then Dijak saying it's true. I saw it.
It was so much. Nothing was accomplished. And I'm going to take a tweet from RJ Barrett here, where he says, AEW air footage of a top face on someone else's show attacking a heel under contract to their company and wanted fans to come out of this upset at CM Punk. What are these clowns thinking? And it's the exact thing. Like CM Punk is a good guy. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what we're building to, who we're helping by showing this. And apparently this comes out, this was Tony Khan's decision to show the footage. Now, Manny, I had a conspiracy. I talked to Eric about this, and I have my own conspiracy about this. This footage was going to air this week on Dynamite no matter what. And it had nothing to do with the Ariel Helwani interview. This was a plan. I'm going back, and this is me going full Skip Bayless, all the way back to when Punk came back at the Survivor Series to WWE. And they said, you know what? I'm going to ruin his big moment of becoming world champion because we know CM Punk was going to main event WrestleMania at this point when he came back and defeat Seth Rollins. We all had that feeling. That feeling. He's going to win the Rumble or lose the Rumble. The main event of WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, or not Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, CM Punk for the world champion. And so this week on Raw, we were supposed to see CM Punk with the world title, talk about he did best in the world and all that. And I think their plan was we're going to get the traction off of this by airing the all-in footage. That's my theory. And then it comes down, he's injured. And it's Tony, do you want to air the footage? And Cody's like, fuck yeah, I still want to do it. Does it make sense to do it now? No.
So I've got my opinions on this. If you're gonna do something like this, if you're gonna have a huge debuting star and you want it to be a talking point, sure, you tank the rest of the show, so that's the bit that sticks out, and you put it at the end, so everyone's like, oh, like the Raw, like that Raw after WrestleMania when Brock Lesnar returned in F5 John Cena.
Yeah.
Like, that was a talking point. I don't think that Raw after WrestleMania was particularly that good, I don't think. But that was a talking point that stood out. Yeah. But when you put on a show like they did, and for that not to deliver, that's the sticking point. You look at that and go, this was a terrible show where your highlight was something that happened 8 months ago, which you're forcing into a storyline, which has no real payoff. It's not gonna be a big deal. I don't care about this. And then the lasting thing is, if you stuck with the rest of the show, is like, what is this shit? What are you presenting me that's gonna make me stick around and come back for more? Because what they've done is, rather than bring in more of that WrestleMania audience of like, where people were just watching it, those casual people, oh, there's more wrestling, let's go see what this is going on. If you left them with that, you're going to just come out and go, well, I don't want to watch that. Like, what is my intention to come back for this? So I just look at it and go, this was a big, big mistake by them. They shouldn't have done it. They look stupid because of it. Yes, it's petty, but it would have been petty to do it the moment he returned. Not now, when you've kind of just made him look like a bigger star now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pause for the comments eventually in these notes, but my whole thing is I'm gonna second your comment, Manny, and say, the ratings are gonna come out today or tomorrow. I don't know when, sometime in the next few hours. And if they do a big rating, I pity them. Because
next week you have to deliver. Next week you have to deliver.
No. The ratings for this week, if it's a big number, you're gonna think, oh my God, I seen the CM Punk footage, but then maybe I stick around for the rest of this show. And you stuck around, and let's say you're a WWE casual and you just wanted to see what's all the news and blah about, and you saw the rest of this show and you just go like, this was a train wreck. The entire show. And from this point on, the entire show just became a train wreck. Let's go to the comments real quick. Let's go. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot because
I need some type of drink because there's one man in here. Hold on.
Yeah, I know it's one man.
Daniel Price. Punk and the Elite are all big children with fragile egos, and they're all at fault in the situation, which we said. But AEW shot them in the foot like Barney Fife last night. Did
you ever watch Andy Griffith show, Manny?
Is that the guy that was like looked like he's 12 and he was actually like 45 or something?
Kinda. He's like 50. It's Don Rickles. Not Don Rickles. Don Knox.
Tony's not worried about being money hungry, Carissa. He's got money to piss away that he gets from his daddy. He's more worried about collecting toys and having a live action GM mode trying to kill WWE. True. AEW's operating at a loss and has gone down year over year in every metric, but Tony still does this dumb shit to pop a niche, hardcore, dedicated indie mark cult audience that enables him. I don't think this was popping anyone. I think this was just him trying to get back at people.
He's Liv Morgan on his revenge tour. And no, this is the black cloud that hangs over wrestling promotion. This is Vince Russo's finger point a doom segment in WCW at Bash at the Beach. This is Claire Lynch in TNA to the crackhead and AJ Styles with.
They've just brought them back to like every time there's a good thing going for AEW, there's always some bullshit backstage thing that pulls the attention away from the positivity. Like this thing was the thing that everyone was kind of talking about instead of them doing record numbers at Wembley for wrestling, for All In. And now you've just brought us back to that point. Like no one needed to talk about that. You should be moving to the future. You should be moving to look who we've got. We've got Mercedes Moné. We've got Okada. We've got Will Osprey, and we have an incredible roster that we can create great matches and memories. But no, you brought us back to that memory all the way back in August.
Yeah, this is it's ridiculous. Last week, Edge, whether you enjoyed his rah-rah speech or whatever he did last week, it ends with, this is AEW, Elite Wrestling. I'm doing a Triple H, but whatever. We're the best wrestle. Right? Right now, we get like 40 minutes of non-wrestling, and it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And the Judy Bagwell on the whole thing.
Seeing as you also mentioned that. Seeing as you also just mentioned that. That promo last week means fucking nothing now because what they did putting that footage out there.
Yeah, it means absolutely nothing. So anyway, FTR wobbles their fat asses out there to the ring. Nothing against FTR, and they say basically what we've said on this show. Why are we airing this shit? Is 8 months ago. It means nothing. Yeah. It means nothing to nobody, and I don't understand why we're doing this shit. And they cut the second rah speech, and they're just like, "This is AEW, we're the best wrestler and all that. Top guys out." And I'm just gonna blow over everything they said because it's time to keep going because we've stopped wrestling on this show altogether, guys. In fact, when we get to the next match, we still kind of stop wrestling there too. So then out comes Will Osprey, one of the top free agent sightings in the world, and he has an axe to grind. He goes into the camera and he says, I can't do an English accent, I'm not going to try, but I'm going to be very groggly when I say this. I have 5 minutes of TV time.
He's not a real stereotypical English accent you can pull on against.
Yeah, it's very groggly. I have 5 minutes of TV time. It's very expensive, but I'm going to waste everybody's time after this Bryan Danielson vignette to not talk about me and Bryan Danielson fighting at AEW Dynasty in about a week and a half or so. Nope. I'm going to talk about, I need to go refer to the Pat McAfee interview and make a jab at Triple H, who at this point, Manny, the man has said this numerous times in his life. I'm talking about Triple H. Paul Levesque. He said he's the game and he is the king of kings. And at no point in this time in life has I never felt like, oh, behold, the king is king. Then right now, right? He's on top of the world. The man is on top of the world. He's the number one wrestling promoter in the number one wrestling company who just had the biggest wrestling show in the history of mankind. And I'm not talking about attendance. I'm talking about dollars. I mean, even Cody Rhodes sold $1 million just in merchandise alone. They have the greatest gate ever. They're up 80% from 39, which was huge already. You're going to take a shot at the king. You bet not miss. And this man comes up with the swing and the whip. He looked like Jungle Boy getting knocked out by CM Punk at this point in his fucking gray pajamas. Like, it didn't make sense. Why are you doing this? Oh, the only reason you're on top is because you're the boss's daughter. Oh my God, what year are we in? 2005?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? How many times has that been said against Triple H? That's just like, if that's been said numerous times, that's more like ping. It hits Triple H and just flies off.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you're coming with. You're not original at all. This isn't J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar battling each other. Oh, this is kids play. This is like me walking up to John Cena. Well, buddy, you can't wrestle. like what? Get out of here with this bullshit. How do you go from one segment to the next? You just spent about 40 minutes of TV time talking about WWE people who are on top of the world. If I'm Cody Rhodes this week, Manny, I'm on top of the world. I became world champion. I ended tribal chief. I main event at WrestleMania. Everybody in the world pretty much loves me. I finished the story. I have drama. I'm feuding with the fucking Rock. And my company, for whatever reason, I felt like I didn't belong there anymore. I left. It's dying this week. I'm on top of the world if I'm Cody. God, I don't understand how we got here. Renee wasn't impressed about his promo. Like, that's what you coming with. You can't attract Triple H. He's probably if you want to say Cody Rhodes is the most loved babyface in wrestling, you're probably wrong. Triple H is the most beloved person in wrestling as of right now. People think, long live the Dark Lord is gone. Like, if you were shooting at Vince, yeah, okay, that's a good shot. Go after Vince. But Triple H, who has so much goodwill behind him, get out of here, Will Osprey. You come up as a joke, and you come up as something after I praised you on ETE saying we were talking about who's taking over the next 10 WrestleManias or something. And I put Will Osprey in there. And then I go, oh, that's horrible. But then I learned it's not his fault. It's that Tony wanted him to say this. I see why the Jaguars are failing.
But that's not all him.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm putting him in there. He's an organization. I'm just saying, you can't go out there and say Triple H is where he is because he's grinding on the boss's daughter if the only reason you have a wrestling company is you're the juice from the nuts of a billionaire. That's all he is.
All right, let's get through this show. We're spending way too much time on this AEW.
All right, I'm about to run through the rest of this bullshit. So we get to Okada in a squash match versus some guy. Okada whoops his ass in a non-wrestling match. There's an attack of some guy. Pac comes out.
He challenges Pac. He challenges Pac for Dynasty, and then
bravo to Okada and his English, by the way. That was nice.
Yeah, and then it turns into an attack of FTR, Pac,
CM Punk chants and everything like that.
Yeah,
we go into that, and that ends. I'm just gonna go through the show. I'm literally just gonna run through the rest of the show. The show is derailed. It gets even off the rails. Then I believe Jarrett Lion Hook is in the back, and they have a match with Shane Taylor Promotions. Manny the Shapes win the match. But it's because of some weird bullshit.
Gets a win. Actually, Coco gets a one.
Lee Moriarty gets a win. Yeah. But it's all over bullshit and at the expense of Shibata as Lion Hook argues on the outside of this isn't the game plan or whatever the fuck that was. And let's move on past that because I do not care. It just feel like they wasted Shibata. Then we cut to the women segments. Yeah, the
Pagne at Thunder Rosa, and then Deonna Purrazzo comes out and tries to help her, and then she shoves her off, and then Deonna Purrazzo calls her to fuck off or fuck you and walks away, which was picked up on camera.
Yeah, I don't understand what the segment was for, the purpose of it at all, and at this point, I think I may have turned it up, or I think I was just frustrated. I think Ryan was with me and said, "What are we watching here? What was the point of this? What was Deonna Purrazzo's point in all of this?" Like, I understand they were promoting the story match, but it was just basically like, oh, they toast. It was like, Anyway, we move into Mariah May versus Anna Jay, who names rhyme. And you know what? They have a quality match. Yeah,
it was
quality
not that
match.
bad of a match. And I
ruined
last time
by.
I said it last time we had a Mariah May match on Dynamite. I think we've started to see signs that she's improving by being given more time in the ring and stuff like that.
But you know what, Manny? That's forgotten. It's forgotten
because I don't know. I don't know who that star lady is. I don't know who that star lady was that came out and then kissed her.
Yeah, matches. Well, I forget what it happens. Match kind of ends. Stardom lady comes out.
Yeah, Anna Jay taps out Mariah May in a. I don't know what that was. It was the Coquina clutch, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, attack happens. All of a sudden, a big titty Japanese woman comes out there just running, and there's music playing. Everybody is going, "What is going on here? Who is this? What is happening?"
She essentially, I don't know what that was, but it seemed like date rape. Because if I did that, it would be considered rape.
Yeah,
because what she did was pour drink down her face and then kissed her.
Yeah. And that may be the moment I decided to turn it off. But I don't know. It's somewhere in between all of this. Then after that, I go, what the fuck am I watching tonight? Because I'm confused. We go to Mercedes and her face is like this. I don't know what she's doing with her makeup, but honey, you need to change it. I feel like it's making your face look like a giraffe. And I don't know what that means.
Yeah, really blocky with whatever she's doing. It makes it like there's this part of her face and then there's the rest of it.
Yeah,
it's like
I don't know what she's doing. So it is confirmed that she's not going to wrestle into Double or Nothing. She's not going to wrestle.
Which is May. She debuted in February.
She's not going to debut until Double or Nothing and get this title match. And I go,
talking, Marcus. She won't stop talking week after week. So this is worse than Jade Cargill because Jade Cargill appeared for a week of WWE television before she went into hiding and appeared at the Royal Rumble.
So nothing's gonna happen with Mercedes. So the lights flicker off, and then all of a sudden it's going off, and then it comes back on. She's down and she's attacked. And the mystery is who attacked her. Are they teasing it could be anybody other than Julia Hart? Because it's Julia Hart. Why would it be Willow attacking with the lights off? Anyway, she's gone into May. I'm just like, why? So maybe I turned it off right there. And
well, the only thing after this was Joe versus Swerve.
Yeah, I think I turned it off at somewhere in between.
No, Joe versus Dustin.
Yeah.
And,
so Dustin cuts promo talking about this is my only opportunity. This is grit, and I'm gonna win. And this is life, and me and Joe. This is Samoa Rose and Joe. The rivalry goes back to when my daddy was fighting my man Samoa Joe back in the day, or something. Anyway, he's okay with getting a injured Samoa Joe in the ring. Anyway, Joe beats the bejesus out of this old man. Beat the bejesus out of him. Show ends. Yeah. I think there's something in between there, but it's probably not. Whatever. This was an absolute train wreck. This is the worst Dynamite in history, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves for airing this on TV. If Turner would just say, today I'm not renewing AEW Dynamite to our network, I would understand, because I have no idea what I saw this week. I saw lesbians kissing for no reason with champagne. I saw footage of someone else's wrestler and chants throughout the arena of that wrestler. I saw my new top free agent not promoting his big match with the best wrestlers in the world to see what happens with that. I see him feuding with a retired wrestling promoter who's had a heart attack that everybody loves. And he's supposed to be the baby face. And then he's talking about how he's okay with the grind when his schedule is, they flew me out here for a 5 to 10 hour flight to cut a 5-minute promo. And I do this back and forth every week. This is great. This is a great life. This is the absolute worst.
Let's get to some. Daniel Price has wrote a lot. FTR also referenced WWE in their promo. It's like, goddamn, Tony, are you trying to kill WWE or give them free advertising?
Yeah. I'm going to comment to Daniel Price real quick. He's spot on. FTR came out there and said some shit, talk about, I would be shaving someone's back if I was still, if AEW didn't exist. Well, you wouldn't be a part of one of the most embarrassing segments in wrestling history, which was the CM Punk video. I think that's more embarrassing than shaving Jackson's back or whatever. Just saying.
Osprey was already mad to being with. Osprey was already mad to being with because Punk took a shot at him for getting the tattoo of inaccurate attendance at Wembley. That is true. It was pointless because Rosa's gonna do the job for Storm anyway. And don't forget, Tony is so inept. I love the word inept. He counterbooked him against himself. He had Rampage airing while Supercard of Honor was still going. He competing against himself. I would have loved if someone on Rampage went underneath the ring because that was taped, and then come out of the ring at Supercard of Honor and be like, ha!
Also, Julia Hartman got injured on Rampage. She started the match early. They ended it early and I rolled up with her winning, but she was apparently really injured. So they may have lost Julia Hart.
Queen Anamata was a really good match on Supercard of Honor.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched the whole thing. I saw that match. The bad part is Mercedes openly admitted that AEW is just a pit stop for her on the way back to WWE, and Tony still hired her. Cues up Chris Rock. No sex in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room. Where Chris said, worst AEW episode ever. She didn't say ever. I added it.
It is.
David Sanchez. I ain't seen this guy in ages.
Comes back with us.
Yeah, the worst episode of Dynamite has brought people out from everywhere. Is there any upside to bringing back Jungle Boy? Doesn't that just play even more into the dumb internet shit Punk was talking about? I think he's buried. I don't think it's hard for him to come back, even though there was on the mid-card.
He's coming back.
The Scapegoat merch he has. I don't know if it's on Shop AEW or if it's on Pro Wrestling Tees.
It's the same. It's the same.
Has sold out. Jamal
it's sold out?
Yeah. This helped Punk.
Well, anyway. Go ahead.
That's it.
Okay. Jack Perry will be back at Dynasty. He's joining up with the Young Bucks, and that's going to be their little clique and faction of the new elite or whatever. But he's going to screw FTR.
He ain't the guy to be leading the elite.
No. You know how years of CM Punk chants have been going on for WWE when CM Punk was gone for those, 9 years. AEW has just unlocked that plague and just got a case of the CM Punk chants for the rest of their life. They're never going to be done with this. All 1,000 people in their arenas that show up. Because I'm cutting it in half. It was 3, maybe 2 at this point. Because they were falling apart before then, like numbers wise and whatever. But now, I think they even turned up their hardcore fans of like, what the fuck are we doing?
They've
Get
split
Tony
the
out.
Fans.
Yeah.
They've split the hardcore fans of AEW. Let's move into NXT. I do have notes for this. So you can take a breather.
Woo!
It starts off with Roxanne, who claims what happened on Stand and Deliver was justice for the woman that went a year without her title, the culmination of a journey she was forced to take against her will. No, the final boss, Meiko Satomura, killed you. And then now there is nothing that anyone can do to take that title away from her, because everything is on her terms, and dares anyone to tell her otherwise. The next time she gets that title taken away from her is going to be when she has to give it up because she'll be moving to Raw or SmackDown in the draft. Lyra comes out, says she wants her championship rematch tonight, despite having her arm in a sling. Paxley says she's ready. Lyra apologizes to Paxley for what she said after the match on Stand and Deliver, and she's good now. Paxley says, "But are you?" and then throws her in the still steps as Roxanne laughs.
Right. I'm done with you.
There will be no championship match tonight. Out comes Natty and the Titties. Says she's got more about professional wrestling than she is ever going to learn. And tonight they should do the Boat versus the Prodigy for the NXT title. The Nepo baby, Ava, comes out and makes the match official. And like her father rambled her way through that announcement.
She didn't rub her goosebumps, though. She got to rub the goosebumps first. Bold move to start Roxanne Perez on a microphone. Like, that's going to make people want to stay. Just saying.
She actually wasn't that bad this week.
She wasn't that bad this week, but
she wasn't that bad this week, but there have been worse times that she's been out there. It's like, God damn.
Yeah, the crowd was a mess this week, though. They were trying to throw her off, but she was able to bounce back. But this wasn't one of her goddams this week.
AEW had some bad moments last night, but I'm not worried about it because historically wrestling promoters have been way worse and petty than TK.
Yeah, but not with this budget.
Tatum needed to do that. The Rock's knees is in charge.
Allegedly.
Nat is technically a Nepo. She is, but I don't think Jim the Anvil Neidhart had that kind of pull.
Yeah, but if you think about Natty is where Natty would be no matter who her father was. If her name was Natty Johnson, she in the same spot. It's not like she benefited.
She'd be a main eventer if she was Natty Johnson.
There's been no benefit in being Natalia Neidhart. I'm just saying, I think she worked to get her way there. Don't dare call her just a full-on Nepo baby. Natty has worked her way through this.
Call her Natty the Silicone Johnson. We go backstage to Chase U. Andre Chase gives Kalani Jordan and Fallon Henley honorary Chase U degrees. JC Jane and Jasmine Nix interrupt the ceremony and drops a bombshell on the real reason she had to bail Chase U out of debt. Says it was because all Thea Hale's fault. JC reveals that Andre Chase placed a big bet on her winning the Great American Bash last year. And instead of watching her suffer, Andre Chase threw in the towel. Says Andre Chase cares more. Andre Chase says he cares more. No, says Andre Chase cares more about a loser like Thea than the whole university so much for her rebellious phase that it's ironic that Thea ended up being the problem. Thea goes, that's not true, but Andre Chase confirms it. He does say that when it comes to the University of Thea Hale, he's going to bet everything on Thea Hale every time.
He's a fool! He's a fool! He's worse than Shohei Ohtani gambling on baseball. This is ridiculous. Why would you bet it on Thea Hale?
Yeah, it's bad. Kian James and Izzy Dame take on Fallon Henley and Kalani Jordan. It was a good showcase pretty much for everyone in this match as Kiana James wins with the 401k.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match, and I thought Izzy Dame is standing out to me as someone that I'm like, you know what? There may be something there. She's like, she reminds me a lot of Jamie Hayter, but when Jamie Hayter seemed to be better, like not injuring people. It looks like.
Yeah, Hacksaw Natty Duggan. Natty beware!
You know, what the hell? Natty Beware. Honestly, if I was a woman today, I would go by the name of Natty Beware. I don't give a fuck. That's a good name.
Natty put in the work and had some work done as well. Some. I don't. Hey guys, I feel like Natty is about 2% original at this point.
You know what, guys? I'm going to cut it off right now. This is not the anti-Natty podcast. I'm not doing this today. I'm not doing it. Of all the things that have happened in the past 2 days of wrestling or week of wrestling, I'm not here to destroy Natty. Manny, let's move on past Natty Beware, Natty Jim Dunny, Natty Dumped the Dumpster Drosy, whatever she is. Superfly, Natty Snooker, whatever the case may be. Let's move past it.
The big boss Natty.
Junkyard Natty.
What did you say?
Junkyard Natty.
Ooh. That one works. Javon Evans versus Script. Script says the new guy's going to get bounced. I'm not overly impressed by this new flippy guy, but Wesley should be worried.
Wait, you weren't impressed? I was impressed by Flippy Levon Evans. I was like, oh shit, one Wesley should be worried.
We just watched on Monday Ricochet nearly kill himself jumping through a table.
Yeah, and you know what? Levon Evans wouldn't have died. He would have landed and then bounced back up. The dude was a young Swerve Scott, basically. All these guys need to be worried. Every athletic black man. This dude, his knees are too good. They're too good. I'm going to hate to see him blow them out, but they are too good. Those are young knees. As an old man, Manny, I go, oh my God.
As a young woman, Ava Rain is like, oh my God.
Yeah, everybody should be looking at him going, oh my God. He reminded me of a very young AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, everybody who had that once bounce and spring to their step where you just go like, this is unreal. Osprey, Ricochet, where you go like, oh, that's athletic as hell. He whooped Swift's ass though. Fire all those people.
He gets the win and evades attack by OTM. Cruz Del Toro.
I mean, the boat part works.
Gets the Ruby Soho Award for leaving his hand in the way of a door as beverage.
I was going to ask, was this better than Ruby Soho or worse than Ruby Soho?
It's better than Ruby Soho because you saw the setup for Ruby Soho because it was there for so long.
Yeah, that's true. But it was the Ruby Soho. My fingers in my door. It did make me laugh. And then Riz come in. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! What happened? I didn't mean to hurt nobody. Dude, I thought you retired.
Roxanne Perez takes on Natalia. You know this match is pretty good, but explain to me how just one kick to the thigh from Lola Vice is enough to stop Natty completely.
Her kicks are like landmines, Manny. They can make your leg explode. I don't know. Natty old. She's old. She's old. Those knees don't be cricketing like they used to. Natty's like a...
Natty finds her and starts a backstage pull-apart where Sol Ruka later tells her she brought this on herself, and Lola Vice told her something along the lines of, a lot has changed since you've been gone, and her response was, whatever, dude.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not what I was expecting for some black woman to ever just go whatever. I thought she should have snatched her at that moment. It would be the correct term. They're gonna fight with that North American title though.
Yeah. So new Quarter Catch crew was missing Drew Gulak, who's been taken off TV because apparently pulling the drawstring of someone is enough to get you taken off TV. But they were talking about Bloodsport, then a squabble with Tony D's family, and then we have Miles Bourne and Damon Kemp versus Stax and Luca Crucifino. I'm just going to put it out here, Marcus. Luca Crucifino showed out once again. which makes me say Von Wagner should be fired because him and Oba Femi are way better big men than Von Wagner.
Yeah, already. And my only problem with
Duke Hudson should be fired too.
You just here. You're here. You go.
He hasn't done anything. He's 6'5".
I know, you're right. Yeah, he's been down there forever, and it doesn't look like anytime soon he's coming up. Luca Crucifino, whose name I have a hard time saying, who just needs to just go by Luca, needs to stop wrestling in the Don's family, in the pants, and become a real wrestler. He needs to drop the lawyer gimmick or the mafia gimmick and just keep on going. Like he's I think he has talent, but he's not treated as a real thing. He's treated as a character, not actually as a real main attraction. Or like they seem to take away everything he could do with this gimmick.
Well, I feel like he's gonna get there. He's gonna stay down in NXT for a while. I don't see the family moving in this draft because you'd have to call them all up. Because Tony D can't go up there. If Tony D goes up by himself, it's gonna be pointless.
Well, I would just get rid of the Tony D mob gimmick and just call him up. Like, you can allude to it, but he could just be Tony D by himself. You don't have to have him killing people on the main roster. I'm just saying.
Well, first, I need to cover up this. Nat does work hard. He and a plastic surgeon surgery do deserve a place in the Hall of Fame. But this is the more interesting thing. Jimmy said, I love old Nat, but then here he says, I have had work done. What have you had done, Jimmy? I appreciate her being loud and proud, so she deserves her flowers. Hashtag unreal respects unreal.
You know what? I'm gonna say as a positive, Natty has had really good work. You know, she ain't that old lunch lady she used to be. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah, because her face is being reconstructed to look like someone who looks like they're 20, but they're not.
Yeah. She's in her 40s. Anyway, I was telling Ryan, it's time to move past Natty in-the-ring career and just be a trainer. Just train Natty. It's over. It's over. It's like when I watched Dustin out there. It's over. Not the same age, but it's over.
The family pick up the win despite interference from Charlie Dempsey. Oba Femi says he said something in the life. Some things are in life are just inevitable, and he just knew he was going to retain his North American title. Ivar comes out in regular clothes. When he saw his match on Saturday, he loved the chaos, and that's the type of fight he lives for. Oba asks, I know you didn't come here to give me compliments, so what do you want?
Yes, what do you want?
He tells
Ivar
him that
still beats around the bush.
He's jealous, as he wanted to be in that fight. He knows he is the only man that can chop him down and take that title. Oba says, we'll see. Ivar puts his hand on the title. Oba headbutts him, but the giant is evaded by a cartwheel and a springboard cross. Oro Mensah is mad at Oba Femi, and Dijak warns the metaphor about the skit they did about him on Standard.
I don't know why I enjoyed Dijak warning them about the skit. I just felt like it just was perfect. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. Which is my favorite Family Guy line with Spider-Man saving Peter's life. Everybody gets one. I think Ivar and Oba Femi should be a really good match, and I think it's going to help Oba and get more experience. And it's the perfect opponent. It's something to do with Ivar, who's going to get lots of stuff on the main roster.
I know Oba Femi's on an uprising and everything, but I need Ivar with some gold, man. Ivar needs gold.
You know why I can't give Ivar gold, Manny? I looked at Oba Femi's outfit, nice sharp dress. I looked at Ivar outfit and looked like I was like, nah. Can't give that title.
Well, he was a fat guy in skinny jeans.
Yeah, like everything about his outfit, I was just like, that's all a no. That's a no for me.
Fat guy in skinny jeans should never happen.
No. Just tell Ryan that. His skinny jeans are the worst.
Because the other thing is, you've got to peel them off afterwards.
Yeah, Ryan looks like a turkey leg when he's in skinny jeans. It's just anyway, no belly. Like, what's going on? Anyway,
Jada Parker takes on Brinley Reese. Parker wins with a dirty hip check.
Yes, I didn't think it was gonna end that way. It was just like, oh, that's it. That's the end of that.
It just seems so simple.
Yeah. Oh, just took it back. I can't believe we got 2 segments of OTM and Scripps and Jada Parker. I know. Can't believe they got 2.
When the full OTM came out, no one was talking about OTM. It was all about the crowd chanting Jada Parker and nothing for the others. So the rest of OTM need to skedaddle.
Snap away like Thanos in dust.
Yeah. NXT tag team titles were on the line. Axiom and Nathan Frazier versus the Wolf Dog, the rematch of Stand and Deliver. I don't know why they didn't just do this at Stand and Deliver.
Exactly, Manny. I didn't understand why we got this. This could have been the same match, but they could have had a quality title defense instead a win tonight. I didn't understand that at all. And
why the Final Testament coming out and attacking at the end of the match? Bunch of losers in the gin and juice match. Bunch of losers.
I mean, they were just rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice. That's what they were doing. And then they decided to go to NXT. Shout out to ALP for wanting their belts back, I guess. That's what they're doing.
And then we get Trick Williams. Says if he wants to be the man in NXT, he needs to slay the Mad Dragon. He calls out Dragunov. Ilya initially refuses to give Trick a title shot, but then gives him a shot at Spring Break. If Trick fails, he has to leave NXT. Trick says if he can't beat the Mad Dragon, he doesn't belong in NXT. And then we thought the end of the show was happening, but then Melo attacks Trick, forcing him into Dragunov, which seems to take him out, which I don't believe is possible. First off, Dragunov was just laying like, oh no, I've seen this man go toe to toe with Gunther.
Yeah. A little survived Gunther. Yeah. But he's just beat up.
And then Melo wants Trick in a steel cage next week.
Yeah. I think they should do a triple threat match for the NXT title with Dragunov, Melo, and Trick to conclude the story. If you lose the match, you leave NXT. And then I would have Trick win the match. And both Melo and Dragunov leaves. And Trick is your new champion.
I don't think Dragunov's coming up straight away. Oh, wait, he is coming up straight away. He's eligible for the draft.
He's in the draft, and he's already beat Shinsuke Nakamura.
I mean, I've beaten Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, no, I beat Shinsuke Nakamura twice, Manny. How you like that? I
just choose to defeat him in any month that doesn't involve Wrestle Kingdom.
Never challenged him in January. Challenged him in a nice summer. I beat him when he was with Boogs in a dark match.
I beat him outside his car when he was doing those commercials. That's how I started my match. That's how the feud started.
I beat him when he was Intercontinental Champion. No one remembers any of those runs. Non-title matches, of course. Eliminator matches.
I didn't beat him when he was doing promos, though, in video package form, because I know he'll destroy me.
Yeah, he's invincible in those. I beat him in the backstage of All In at Wembley. I put him in the guillotine. Tony feared for his life.
Samoa Joe broke it up.
Yeah, Samoa Joe broke it up. Tony feared for his life. That's the main thing about that footage that I think hurt the most. Tony, how did you feel for your life? How?
He was scared, Marcus. A man built like Punk lunged at him.
That motherfucker must sleep with a nightlight still on. Like, that's where we're at with him. If you're afraid of that shit, get out of here. That man can't go outside in Halloween. That man saw The Purge and was shaking in his boots and peed a little bit.
So that is today's show. AEW, I dread to think what next week is going to be like.
I just think that it's going to be a fall off. I think they're going to bounce back and have a good show. I think next week they're going to have a good show. But I don't think anybody's going to be there to watch it. And
do you know what? If you want to show me footage, show me the brawl out footage, you cowards.
Yeah. I want to see Omega save Larry the dog. And I want to see Ace Steel bite a motherfucker. That's what I want to see. Footage.
Cowards.
Yeah, cowards. That's the day I would fear for my life. But Tony can't say that because he was out there doing press. at the time they were killing each other.
So Will Osprey just it's been announced that Will Osprey will take on Claudio next week on Dynamite, which Tony Khan posted 24 minutes ago on Twitter. And Will
he's
Osprey
alive.
quote tweeted this and said, "We're the best wrestle."
So it sounds like he took Tony money and is licking ass now.
Yeah. And then the other bit of news is AEW released their pay-per-view lineup, and they are continuing with All In 1 week, and then the following week All Out in Chicago.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
They lost their whole audience this week.
But do you know what the problem I have with this is? There is a gap. They have Forbidden Door in June, a gap in July. All in London is at the end of August, and then they have at the beginning of September All Out. Couldn't they have just slid something in July? Couldn't they have just slid All Out into July and let it flow better?
No, they couldn't. You know why? Because that's what a competent businessman and company would have done, Manny. These are fools.
And you know they're going to be running in that small arena where they go when they possibly could go up to 80,000 in Wembley, and then suddenly close off all their storylines in the smaller audience of like 16,000. Ridiculous joke of a company. Unforgivable. Yeah. And I still say this, unforgivable, that show did not give me a Kenny Omega singles match.
That's Manny's fault. I think we're all in. That's where they disgraced the man. It wasn't the brawl out. That's what Manny's going to remember. He's not going to remember any of that.
Unforgivable.
He's not going to remember Bucks and FTR or anything else on that show. It's unforgivable. Like, didn't you get Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson? Or Okada versus Danielson? One of those, right?
I didn't have Okada there.
Okay, you got Sabre Jr. versus Danielson?
No, Zack Sabre Jr. wasn't there. I had Will Osprey versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho! I got a live performance of Jericho performing his song. Did I want that? No.
Oh, no. Yeah, you did get that. Ooh. You know what? The more you talk about it, the more I think you do have a complaint.
I'm fucking furious. Fuming.
3,000 miles away, I felt that energy of furious. Oh, what is that? That's someone being furious. But yeah, absolutely.
It's like the retelling of Dave Chappelle talking about his son wanted to see Kevin Hart, and he found out how much the tickets costed everything, and then he quietly went into the back. I was fucking furious.
Manny, you're so furious. I think Tony Khan is fear for his life. It is real.
He should. If I see Tony Khan, it's on site.
Shout out to all my favorite wrestlers that wasn't on the worst Dynamite ever. That goes with Takeshita, Bryan Danielson. Yes, he was there in video package, but he wasn't on this. Darby Allin. That's probably about it. I don't know. Swerve was on the show, so there's a few people who I would like to say I'm glad they weren't associated with this train wreck.
I've started to grow to like Will Osprey, but
Osprey,
yeah.
This is a setback.
I don't fault him for what was said. He was told to do it.
Yeah. I just think he could have wore some other than the gray sweatsuit. It looked like just pajamas or somebody just took a long flight.
He's been wearing terrible things each time he's come out there.
Someone dressed that man to make him look like a star. He should be wearing nice suits or something. He should be stylish.
No,
a little bit. Not over the top.
No, Marcus, he used to dress up for New Japan, but now he just dresses like a bum. He dresses like me.
Yeah. He shows up in his sweatpants and stuff. Like, he literally looks like, I just got off to play. Leave me alone. I'm tired. I'm going to go take a nap later. He came out and did that and talked about wasting money on TV time. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Tony, it's funny that I did see him last week. I just find that really ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, you were just like right there. Oh, there's Will Osprey, who flies back and forth. Do you think him and Pac take the same flight?
No. I don't think Pac is allowed to take that Tony Khan private jet. He ain't no
I was
star.
gonna say that's why Pac was there 2 weeks in a row or whatever, because Osprey's flying back and forth. Hey, can I get a ride? Yeah, sure. It's the last one though.
Ridiculous.
All right.
Just remember, Tony Khan, it's on site next time I see you.
Yeah. You're gonna get some Manny the Dragon Steamboat or whatever he's calling himself these days. I'm glad Sting left the company before they showed that footage, so he don't have to relive WCW and TNA all again. man, killed the man.
He may have got some Jeff Hardy in that too. Yeah. He may have got some Jeff Hardy in that when he had to deal with Jeff Hardy and TNA.
Yeah, Sting has been through it all.
How's that man still functioning?
Yeah, Sting could be in every single documentary for every single wrestling company ever in the past 40 years, and you'd be like, yeah, Sting got a reason to be on that.
We ain't even speaking Portuguese.
I don't know what's going on here. Let's end the show before it gets weird. Do we have backstage footage? We want to show, Betty.
Oh yeah, we got backstage footage.
Yeah.
We have backstage footage of that time Jen took on Randy Orton backstage.
Where we were so upset by this that we were not able to do the show on September 12th, 2022.
I still don't know why she sent me this. Like I wasn't going to do this.
Funny. It's so funny because nothing is just. If you want to see old footage, that's old footage. That's 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago.
The thing is, I remember doing that whilst we were in that half an hour when we were talking, and I was
you were like, it's gonna be
the
good.
whole time I was doing it.
Yeah, no. And you're just like, you're doing the old trope. Give Marcus a question. I have time.
Yeah, so make sure you like the video and subscribe if you haven't. We're back Saturday to review WrestleMania after SmackDown after WrestleMania.
I'm just calling it SmackDown. Where we see Bailey celebrate and more of Cody Rhodes. Let's see what he has to say about All In and All Out and Tony and stuff. But you see why that man left at this current moment.
You know what was strange on Raw, which we didn't really get into? Do you remember that episode of Raw when The Rock got beaten and like, look at you now, Cody. Look at you now.
Yeah.
Remember The Rock whispered in Cody's ear, and then Jackie Redmond asked The Rock and then asked Cody. At no point did Jackie Redmond, Kathy Kelly try and locate where Cody Rhodes was on Raw and ask him what did The Rock give him. No point. Because
I think Jackie Redmond has learned no one ever gives her correct answers. They never give her direct answers.
Yeah, unless
she's giving up. She's giving up.
Unless she sets them up. You know when she was working with Shinsuke? But yeah, we'll be back this Saturday.
Leave comments. Tell us your thoughts on what happened this week in Dynamite and NXT. Mostly Dynamite. I don't really care about what happened in NXT this week anymore.
Yeah, so I've been Lord Manny Hayes. He's been
Marcus the grand finale. Rest in peace to the Wolf Dogs. Damn it.
Which means we could buy the shirts, and technically that's our merch.
Yeah. We're back.
And just remember, people, this man feared for his fucking life. Okay. Oh no.
Poor Tony. And I don't even know which one I'm talking about anymore, Khan or Shivani. Poor. I feel bad for the Tonys.
Tony Storm?
She's all right. She throws champagne in someone's face.
Yeah, so we back on Saturday. Peace.
Yeah, bye.